Hey guys, it's JT here from Bulletproof for BJJ. And today we're going to show you how you can get stronger for BJJ using the Turkish Get Up. The Turkish Get Up is one of our favorite moves to get you strong for BJJ. Now, it is a complicated beast and it requires strength, stability, and mobility. We have a unique approach of breaking it down so that you are strong through all the major positions, and today we're going to show you how it's done. The Get Up sit-up is absolutely integral to be good at Turkish Get Ups. It focuses on shoulder stability, core strength, and the coordination it takes to get off the ground from a dead stop. Now your legs are straight, so you have no assistance from your legs. It's important that when you roll up and over, you have a strong elbow drive so you're nice and stable when you support your weight to sit up. Important detail, guys, when you sit up, take your hand off the ground so the eccentric phase is all core and shoulder. Lean slightly away as your hand goes forward so your arm stays vertical. Repeat this process. Make sure that you are nice and straight in the arm and you keep your attention on the kettlebell the whole time. This is absolutely key in you getting strong for your Turkish Get Up. The next step is the overhead back lunge. This is super important in terms of increasing your stability through your core and your shoulders in the overhead position. This leads in nicely from the Get Up sit up. Now, you need to be able to press the kettlebell directly overhead. From there, locking out, breathing and bracing through your core, we want you to lunge back on your opposite leg. Stepping back on this side sets you up well to be able to lean down for when we're doing the full Get Up. Don't lean yet. Stepping back up and forward. It's important that you maintain tension through the whole movement. When you're doing this, make sure you keep your awareness of the kettlebell and only lightly touch your knee. When you're lunging back, we don't want you to drop your weight into that knee. We want to maintain the tension, driving up through hip and coming up nice and strong in the overhead position. The kettlebell windmill is the most technical aspect required of the TGU. Now, it is a separate exercise, but it is the #1 move that is going to help you out. Now, when you're setting up for the windmill, in the same way you set up for your overhead lunge, press the kettlebell overhead. Set your feet up so they are pointing the same direction. Now, lean your weight over your back heel. Your back heel should be the heel that is the same side as the kettlebell that you have overhead. Keeping your weight in your heel, breathing and bracing at the top, leaning down to the side, using your other hand to measure where you are for your depth on the inside of your leg. Lightly touch your fingertips of your free hand to the ground, then using your hip hinge, extend your hip and come back into an upright, straight position. Really important tip, guys. As you are leaning down, make sure that your arm moves away and you keep a degree of tension through your lat so that your arm stays vertical throughout the whole movement, regardless of where your hip position is. Try not to transfer any weight into your front foot, keep it all in your back heel. This is going to set you up really nicely when you go to a full Get Up and you have to work your way back down to the ground. Turkish Get Up, from the bottom to the top. Really important that when you start, guys, you remember all the tips that you learned through every single movement. So when you do turn to cradle the bell onto your shoulder, pressing it up with your two hands, make sure that you're locked in and stable through your chest, shoulder, and core. Also, base your bent leg, your foot slightly outside of your hip, so that when you push through that foot, you get a good rotational push through the hip to be able to push up to the elbow and create a good support. Then when you base your hand, it's also important that your hand, hip, and heel are all in a decent alignment. Now, next step, when you lift your hip, exaggerate this movement. For some of you out there, this will be a challenge, but really push up through your glute to make sure there's maximum clearance for your leg as you bring it underneath you. From this position, remember your windmill. You don't want to break at the hip. We want to use our obliques and lats to bring us into that overhead lunge position, kneeling on the ground. Make sure that your back toe is on the ground so you can drive up and forward to the standing position. Now, we're simply going to reverse that action. Stepping back on the foot that is opposite to the hand holding the kettlebell. So if you're holding it in the right side, you're stepping back on your left foot, overhead lunge to the knee. Put your weight into your knee. Now remember the windmill. Lean away from the kettlebell, placing our hand to the side. Do not break at the hip. This will weaken your entire position and may cause you to drop the kettlebell. Make sure that you are leaning laterally, transferring your weight into your hip. Place your hand. Elevate your hip so you can now sneak your leg out, slowly lower your hip to the ground, back to your elbow, and then really focus on that eccentric phase of keeping your abdominals tight to return to your starting position, which is almost the exact same thing that we did with our get up, sit up. There are many moving parts, guys, but if you do this slowly and methodically, you are going to dramatically increase your strength for BJJ. The Turkish Get Up is one of the Bulletproof for BJJ standards. Now, we've set the bar, guys. Purple belt is 25% of body weight with 2 reps on each side. That is a real challenge. But if you want to take it to that black belt level, it will be 40% of your body weight for 2 reps on each side. And it's not as simple as just doing more get-ups. To make your Turkish get-up stronger, you need to break it down into its individual parts. That's why we have the unique approach we do in our program that will enable you to not only get stronger with your Turkish get-up, but also to get stronger for BJJ.